So I'm sitting now with Anne Kmetyko, the director of If Then Now. Welcome to the Canadian Independent Film Festival.
Thank you for having me.
Well, first I want to congratulate you on the run of the festivals that you had with your film and your previous films. So
Thank you.
You said you won many awards. How does it feel?
A few. Yeah, it feels good. It feels good. I'm happy for the project. You know, for me, it's really, I guess, my responsibility when I have a story and I have something to say. It's like my children, you know, my films, and I really want them to be shared and discovered by an audience. I think that's really my main objective with my work, is to get it out there, to share it with people and have a dialogue and connect.
One time I was talking to a professor and he told me, do you think a film is a film without an audience? And I said, no, it cannot be a film without an audience. So that being said, and knowing that you went into many festivals, let's talk a bit about the different audience you faced. How was your film received? Did you have any experience on that level with different audience? What can you tell me about this?
Well, honestly, I'm not really sure I can answer your question.
Okay.
Because a lot of times, like today, people are shy. And so that's why, like today for the screening, I stood in the back because I really like to watch the experience of the viewers. And that's like a privilege to see like 20 people or 50 people or 4 people that are sitting in the audience. For me, that's the biggest payoff, to be in the movie theater and see how people react to watching your film. So that's huge. Then after that, if there is a conversation that occurs, that's a bonus. But like I said, a lot of times people are shy, you know, people will ask questions, but sometimes I think they're still processing. So yeah, but so far it's been great as far as the contact with people. I had a really good experience with San Francisco. We did a Zoom that was with the different people that were in that screening, the block. So for the San Francisco Short Film Festival and the programmer, and that was really enjoyable, where they actually took, you know, a moment with us, the filmmakers, and we had a sharing experience where we talked about our films. Okay. So that was fun, that I have to say, and everybody was all over the world.
Yeah, definitely. And in that sense, also knowing your background, you come from photography, you did 15 years of photography,
yes.
You studied journalism, so all of these...
And film and TV
and
also.
film and TV in Concordia, am I right?
I did journalism at Concordia, I did my master's in film at Université de Montréal, and I studied television at l'INIS,
okay.
And my BA is from Ryerson, which is now Metropolitan Toronto University.
Okay.
So yeah.
All these mediums...
I'm trained.
Yeah, very well trained.
Very
well trained. That's very impressing, honestly. But I want to say that all these mediums actually, the basis of all these mediums is observation. Our eyes, where we see stuff, we hear stuff, we put them on films. In whatever, photography, journalism, films. So when you watch your audience seeing your film, sometimes it's going to be very interesting to see the different reactions, the different faces. You can see the feelings of the audience. So I was just emphasizing this idea because you mentioned it, and it's very important for filmmakers.
I think it is, yeah. I agree.
So also with all this background, did it make any difference for you to make films coming from all these mediums? Did it add to your filmmaking journey?
Yeah, it did.
Can you tell me more?
As a storyteller, I think that, with all due respect, I think that it's not something that you're born with. I think that you need to understand and learn and practice, and the opportunity to make a film is a great way to practice. So the more films you can make, the better. And I think that this background that I have is so diverse in the storytelling medium that I think it equipped me in a way that was really empowering, because maybe I'm not going to make a perfect film, but I understand the ingredients that it takes to make it so that it has that potential to touch people and to take them into that journey that you're making the film about, right? Because it is a journey. It's an emotional journey. It's a journey of discovery, of transformation. I think that those are elements that are 100% true. And even in a photograph, you can fill it with emotion. All depends on how you present it.
Definitely, in a world where storytelling now is a buzzword, so that was very nice of you to say. It's very on point, actually. Let's talk a bit more about your journey.
Okay.
You said that your film took 10 years, and before
It
that,
did.
you already worked on other films.
Yeah, I worked as crew. You know, I
Right.
did a lot of different jobs on
Right.
productions. Some of them were big budget films with lots of money and stars, and some of the projects were student films with nothing. And I think that's part of the learning journey as well, is to be able to just go in there and with no expectations necessarily that it's going to be, you know, everything's going to change because I did this. I just learning about yourself through the process. I think that's what it really is about. Is it's a process.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing thing when you actually just let yourself go into it and connect with people. It's really a collaborative experience, right?
And throughout all these years, when you look back and you see yourself, let's say 10 years ago, do you think anything changed in you as an artist? Did you evolve in a certain way, or did you get more interested in certain topics or other observations than you used to be interested in 10 years ago?
Well, for me, I'm a very visual person, so I really see things. I see visual stories, so something in a frame, in a photograph. I think 10 years ago, if you would have asked me, you know, what it is, I think that I did not have the capacity to imagine telling a story through characters the way that I see it now. And that's huge. Like, that's script writing, and that's where I am now in my career, and I understand what it takes to make a script and get a story that has a beginning and an end. And that's not an easy thing, to actually start somewhere and end up with something where when you finish watching or reading the script, you go, wow, okay, I get it, you know? So that's where I am now, and I was not there. And that's why the feature that I've written now, it took me the time when I started making this short for me to understand how to get there.
I was about to ask about the feature. You're good. Okay. I want to ask you, what can you share with us about the feature at this stage? Where are you in the production process or the pre-production process? And is there any expectations for the time the film will be out, if you can share it?
I wish I could tell you a date right now. So my feature, which has an English title and also a French title. The French title is Entre Deux. It's a Montreal story with a female protagonist who finds herself in a situation where her life is completely thrown into chaos, and she has to discover how to find solutions and get everything to work for her. So she's not going to be the same person at the end of that story, and what she experiences is a very powerful change. So even though I don't want to go too detailed into it, I can tell you that I have a V1, so I have a first draft of my script, and I'm currently looking for a producer to work with me, and I'm looking to submit to Telefilm next year for Talent to Watch, which is a very low budget category of films that get funded. And I'm going to do everything in my power to get that film made. And so, like this short, which was really made with love and a lot of, you know, goodwill, I believe very deeply that this film will be made. So hopefully shot in 26 and maybe out on the festival circuit in 27.
Okay, we'll be very happy to have this film like in the edition of 2027. And if
Yeah.
there's any producers watching us, we have a very talented filmmaker who has a feature film ready to get a producer.
Thank you so much.
It was very nice talking to
Well,
you. It's a
pleasure.
very nice conversation with lots of layers. I wish you the best of luck for your next movie. And we're looking more to meet you again and again in this
Anytime.
festival.
It would
And
be a pleasure.
so it was a very nice conversation with Anne Kmetyko, the
Thank you.
director of the film If, Then, Now. Thank you very much.
Thank you.